Alright, today I'm back working on the GMC Envoy. Many of y'all know that it wound up getting flooded again. So I had to drop the pan on the transmission to drain the water out because the water got into the transmission, and I don't know what other places the water got into other than inside the car. I'm gonna have to check the rear end. Maybe the rear end is full of water. I don't know. So I am going to work on putting the pan back on, and we're gonna work on the motor mounts, get the motor in there solid, and maybe we'll get the drive shaft cut for it and all that stuff. So let's just get the transmission button back up so it'll try to stay clean, and we'll go from there. All right, got to get underneath the car, getting it ready to install back in the car. That is the first time that is the first time I didn't have to scrape the pan. Alright, so we're going to get a new gasket and a new filter. Alright, so the transmission has been airing out for quite some time. I got a little bit of rust forming, which just kind of confirms my suspicions of being salt water. I mean, there ain't no suspicions about it. I knew it was salt water. So we're just gonna clean her out, spray her off, and put a filter in it. Oh, so stinky. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this cross member, and we're going to cut a slot in it for the bolt, and yeah. But I'm going to get this thing out so I can work on it. So that's what I'm going to do. Modify. Alright guys, so here's the cross member. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this slot further this way, and I'm going to cut a little window right here, and I'm going to add, I might be able to just get away with that, but if that doesn't work, I've got this nice piece of metal right here that I can weld up in place.
So this is looking good. Boom.
So it's another day, and my nephew and brother have joined me in working on the GMC Envoy. You're fired. I built the transmission mount that is hooked up right now, and today we are working on engine mounts. My brother likes to weld. My nephew needs to learn. So we're going to build motor mounts for this thing, and maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to install a drive shaft too. That's just a hope. It's a big maybe, but anyhow, we'll just see what we got. So what we've got is amazing. The original motor mounts on the engine. John, can you take the bag off the cord? The original motor mount almost lines up with the motor mount on the body. So engine motor mount to the left, body mount on the right. And we are going to make an adapter to take the original to the old school. Is that going to be fairly easy, you think?
I think we can handle it.
I think we can too. It's pretty straightforward. We have 2 bolt holes on the body, and then we have 1 through bolt that would go to the engine mount. So let's see what we got. I've got some supplies in the shop. I've got some flat shingles. I've got round pipe. I think we can figure something out with that. So we're gonna talk about it, and we'll be right back.
The way it's offset, I think it's so close, but the problem is that's kind of causing a problem.
It definitely is a problem. Another thing that we could do.
Oh,
What?
okay. So
The engine needs to go over towards John a little bit.
Okay.
So I got to scooch it over some. We should
Well-
probably center this thing up.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if we just do the actual connection offset where there's room to bolt it there, and then have it off to the side, and then there, where it's not just straight there, it's kind of ink.
Alright. Well, I'm going to center up the engine and see what we got. Alright, so we've got to center this engine up. So Jason, how about you loosen that strap? And I think what's going to happen is it's going to tilt. I think we're going to have to use a press. It's alright, just do it.
Well,
Oh, you already loosened it
yeah,
up? So.
it's loose.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to loosen a lot more than that.
No, well,
Really?
it's
Oh, God.
really loose. Yours is that tight?
It's pulling the engine over.
Yeah.
So I've got to
See
jack it up and move it over. So I need the floor jack.
Starting to move.
Alright. Let's see if I can move her over. It ain't moving. How loose you got that?
Very loose.
See, I'm folding it over.
And it's moving.
But the engine's tilting.
Yep. How much more?
I can't get it to go full click. I want to grab hold. See, the engine's tilted a lot.
Okay.
Like that head is up a good inch higher than this one.
I didn't know what it was.
Seems to be moving some now. Do I need to tighten this up? That might help.
Yeah, I think it's on the oil pan, which is a shame. But you know, I'll drive it until it rubs a hole in the oil pan. I don't care. And then, I mean, this engine's supposed to be temporary.
Yeah.
So, I think we ought to just start with one mount, go to the highest one,
Okay.
and we'll build that mount, and then we'll
Lift up on the engine.
lift
a
up
bit.
on the engine and build this one.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yep.
All right, so we got a plan, guys. So we're going to start on the passenger side mount, and then we're going to move to the driver's side. Okay.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No.
All right. So we are going to be measuring out the original mounting position on the body. How far apart are those? How far apart is the whole thing,
Well,
do you think?
about 4.5 inches.
About 4.5 inches?
On the inside. Of course, out from end to end, it's really 5, but 4.5 is more than enough.
Okay. So let me get a permanent marker and we'll measure out 4.5 inches. And then we're going to mark the holes, and then we're going to trim and pre-drill the holes.
So let's just go 4 inches. There's plenty of room with 4 inches.
Well, I don't have black marker green on my So here we've got our plates right here. This is a mount identical to the one on the engine, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of pipe that fits in between so we can through bolt it. And from that, yeah, it's going to be this pipe right here. So we're going to have it mounted to the engine, and we're going to have these plates mounted to the body, the frame. So the pipe is going to be hovering over this piece, and we're going to be cutting out a piece of metal that fits in between this pipe and that plate, and we're going to be welding it in, making the motor mounts hold. So Jason is measuring out the width that we need.
68 millimeters.
All right. And we're not going to have solid mounts because this is our rubber mount right here. This is like a 60s Chevy car or truck mount, and that's what we're going to be using on this vehicle. So mark and cut. All right, so now we're going to place our plates down here, and we're going to mark our bolt holes, and then we're going to drill the holes. Then we're going to add our little pieces to the motor mounts. Then we're going to measure, and we're going to cut out some more of this to fit for the upright. So it's going to turn out pretty good. Yeah, it's going to work. These are going to be the 2 holes that are used for mounting to the original body.
Wow.
That's it. Alright, another hole. So we'll be right back with you and let you know if it fits or not. View, but you know, it'll be alright. Terrible lighting. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Oh, and we got to put those in, and we have. Those are like factory mounts, bolts that came with the vehicle, and they fit perfect. Perfect. That's it. Beautiful. All right, so we need an upright piece. We got to get the right length and yeah.
All right,
Cool
here.
deal. Oh, you're gonna get the tape measure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So this is what we have so far. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm gonna be
That's fine. Just do what you gotta do. So we are measuring the what length piece we got. Whose keys are down there? Yo, yours. So this is what we got. We have right down there, man, I wish y'all could see it good, but that is a tight area. We've got metal joining up, and we're just gonna lay down a good bead, and it's gonna be wonderful. Ain't that right, bro?
Yeah. Now, you should always clean the metal up before welding it.
Absolutely.
But what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be putting a couple of tack welds just to hold it in place so we can see where what we're working with, and then we're going to clean it up real good and then put a nice bead down.
All right.
All right. So, all right. Hopefully I won't embarrass you, bro.
Oh, it's fine.
All right.
So the welder's on, and what we're welding with is a Millermatic 212, I think.
No, I've got a 210. Yours is better. Yours is probably a 250.
I think it's a 212, dude.
211.
211.
Dude, I've got almost the same one as you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
mine's fancy.
Yours is pretty fancy.
It's
All right.
fancy.
Let's put a couple of tack welds.
All right, sounds good.
Fire in the hole.
Yep. Ooh, that sounded good. Sound like frying bacon. You good?
Okay.
All right, bud.
We got a fire.
Do we? On the ground?
Yep.
Like active?
It's going out.
Oh.
All right.
All right, gonna pull the motor mounts out and weld them up good.
Yep.
So that is it. That is our mount, and we're gonna run a gusset from here to here,
Yep.
and it's gonna be plenty strong for this little V8.
I think we're gonna have to turn it up just a little bit more because those
All right.
you know, a little better penetration.
He said pin.
Alright, now that we've got this tack welded in place, we're going to go ahead and clean up the rust here on both sides, and then we're going to lay down a nice bead to really make sure that this doesn't come apart on my brother.
That would be bad.
Alright, I'm going to put a couple more tacks on here, and then we're going to put on some nice beads. Fire in the hole. Now that we have the motor mount welded up, we're going to add a brace onto the motor mount to add a little bit of extra security.
Side to side. Yep. Good enough?
Yeah. No.
Alright, so this is what we got. That thing is not going anywhere. Show side view. Oh yeah. Look at that brace. It's looking good. Is that a crack?
No crack.
I'm kidding. Alright.
I'm disappointed in this.
Oh
but
no,
it's not going
I'm
anywhere.
fine with it. So we're gonna bolt this thing up, and then we're gonna move right to the next side. It's gonna be awesome. Oh dear. Oh dear. Do I need to like rock the motor over?
Mm-mm.
You think you can get it?
Yeah.
Okay. That looks fantastic. Now all we gotta do is do it to this other side. All right, dude. All right. I'm ready. Motor mount is going in. All right, now tighten the dog out of it. All right. We coming back to this one?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Yep. Here we go. Wait. This engine is suspended on its own. Thank you, bro. That's weak. Come on now. All right. Thank you, sir. Now, my brother's got to go home, and he's going to leave me to work on this by myself, which I'm going to go home tonight too. But in the morning, I'm going to do some more work to this thing. This thing looks fantastic. It almost fits in there like it's supposed to. Well, not quite. But it's in there. It's in there. I'm happy. All right, bro. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Guys, I will see y'all in the morning. Okay, so the engine's in nice and solid. I've got the piece of wood that it was balancing on out. You can see that she is free. Let's check out the underneath. So you can see the motor mount is holding the engine up. It's looking good. I'm pretty confident that it is in center and it's level. It appears to be level. The transmission's looking good. So now let's see about working on installing, I don't know, the drive shaft. Let's look into the drive shaft. Got a smudge on my lens. So let's see about installing the drive shaft next. I'm probably gonna have to cut it. The original one is, boy, it is short and stubby, and it looks like it's got the same output shaft as like a 400 transmission. This is a 350 transmission I installed in this, so we're gonna have to have a different yoke for the transmission output shaft. So let's go into my drive shaft section and see if we can find a drive shaft that'll fit. This one right here looks like a pretty good contestant. Alright, hopefully it's long enough, and hopefully the yoke is right. It looks like it's right. Let's get underneath and check it out. Oh yeah, here's the difference between the old drive shaft and this other one, the length difference. And looking at it, this might still be too short. Let's see. I sure do wish I had a lift in this shop. So here we got the tail shaft of the transmission, and way over yonder we have the rear diff. And it is close. It is super close. So I've got to go. Alright, tail shaft. And it fits in the transmission. It's in there pretty good. Let's see what we got here at the rear end, and it's not long enough. So I am gotta figure out how much too short I am. All right, hold on. It's literally the length of my flashlight. Shaft back out, and we're going to figure out, we're going to see if we got something a little bit longer, because it's easier to take length out of a drive shaft than to add it, unfortunately. Happy Father's Day, Dad.
They should name that alligator